With Chameleon NFT Generator, rendering and exporting JSON metadata is easy. Let's take a quick look at how. The images and JSON files will export to whichever folder destination that you have selected in the output path. Make sure that you have the file format set to PNG and to set your file name as the name of your collection, followed by the number hash symbol. Adding the hash symbol at the end will allow your images to export chronologically with a number at the end of the file name. Putting the number hash symbol at the end of your file name is a very important step, because this will allow your image file names to be identical with the names inside of your metadata and prevent potential future issues. Once you set up your render output path, you can scroll down to the Chameleon NFT Generator in the output properties, and hit the checkbox on the things that you would like to randomize, and then proceed to add the collection folders of choice inside of the generator. Then proceed to scroll down to generation settings and shows how many NFTs you would like to generate. Smash the generate button and you will see your collection generated across the dope sheet timeline. Every time you press generate, it will reshuffle your generations for you. If you click the lock generations to timeline checkbox and press generate again, it will no longer shuffle your generations, and all of your generations will remain in the timeline unchanged and locked in place. This feature is very useful because as long as the lock generations checkbox is selected, you will be able to save your Blender session, close it and shut down your computer after a long night of rendering images. Then when you open the session back up again, you just have to make sure the lock generations box is still checked. Hit the generate button and all of your generations will appear again in the exact same way they were when you were last in the session, allowing you to be able to pick back up where you left off in the render, saving your computer from gasping for air after running for 3 days, and you as well after running from your mom, who's enraged over the electricity bill. If you would like to generate your collection all over again, just untick the lock generations box and press generate. Easy like Sunday morning. When you are ready to render out your images that are locked in the timeline, just go to the render option at the top menu and select render animation. Whatever value you set for the number of generations inside of the generation settings is how many images will be rendered out. If you set your output properties to PNG, then Blender will render out individual images even though you selected render animation. Once the render is complete, all of your images should be exported inside of the folder that you chose as your output path. You can then upload the image folder containing your NFTs to IPFS. This is a crucial part to getting an NFT collection on OpenC. I will put a couple links in the description that go more in depth on uploading your collection and metadata to IPFS for those who don't understand this process. Now for phase 2. Exporting OpenC compatible JSON files is a breeze using the Chameleon generator. Just make sure to check the Create JSON Metadata box. Do not uncheck the Avoid Background Rendering box unless you are willing to export the metadata and the images at the same time, and have Blender freeze and become unusable until the render is complete. Keeping the Avoid Background Rendering button checked will allow you to swiftly export just the JSON metadata information, without the images. So I advise you to keep that box checked 10 out of 10 times. If you want to render your images, do this through the top menu bar as mentioned earlier. Next, all you have to do is fill out the name of your NFT collection. Fill out your description. And then under Image, add in your IPFS link followed by the CID number of your image folder. Again, I posted a couple links below that cover IPFS and smart contracts so you know exactly how to handle this step. One tip that I can add is after you add your CID number, type in a forward slash, and then type in the same name that you titled your images, without the £sign. If you do it this way and then export, the numbers along with the .png will be added in automatically at the end of your link. But nah, for real, it's sounding real quiet in here. Big awkward vibes. Run back the beat but reverse it on me.
I got you, baby girl.
Thanks, King. Anywho. Then you just click the Export JSON Metadata button and your metadata will be uploaded to the output path folder. Faster than you can get obliterated fighting Margit the Fell with just a club in Elden Ring. The trait type will be the name of whichever collection folders that are currently being generated on the timeline. And the name of the value in your metadata will have the same name as what you chose to name your material, followed by the name of the mesh that is currently being generated. So if you want your metadata's attributes and value information for your character to be exported accurately, make sure to add all of the collection folders that you want to be generated into the materials section of the generator, and that the materials checkbox for the generator is always checked, otherwise you will get no attribute information. And make sure to give each material a color name, so your metadata can have color information. Disclaimer: you only have to add collection folders that contain meshes inside of the materials section of the generator. Lights, worlds, backdrops, cameras, and poses will have the name of their object title as the value for the metadata. So don't worry about throwing lights into the materials section of the generator. Once you have everything all set up correctly inside of Chameleon and exported your JSON files, you can throw them into a JSON folder and you're good to go. You can now easily upload that JSON folder to IPFS. And just like that, you are one giant leap closer to completing your new NFT project. The metadata is Openc compatible. But don't worry, we will add a lot of new features in the near future along with the capability to export metadata to a wider variety of different blockchains. Users will receive lifetime updates for free. And this is just the beginning. We noticed that there aren't too many options for people to easily create 3D NFT art. And our goal is to make this process as easy and fun as possible for everyone.
Take care of yourselves, and don't forget to make your next project your best project. Love, Chameleon.